The Media Party launches their campaign against Stephen Harper and the Conservatives. I'm Lilley with TheRebel.media. Prime Minister Stephen Harper is being accused of trying to launch an election campaign early on the issue of guns. That's at least the message being put forward by Canadian press reporter Jennifer Ditchburn when she appeared on Global's The West Block.
He's talking about some sort of personal security that, home invasion? We don't know. So that's, I think he really confused the issue, but perhaps that's on purpose, right?
There's lots of talk about dog whistles and speaking to the base, but is that really what Prime Minister Stephen Harper was doing when he said this before a meeting of rural municipal leaders in Saskatchewan?
My wife's from a rural area. Gun ownership wasn't just for the farm, it was also for a certain level of security when you're ways away from police, immediate police assistance.
No, I think Stephen Harper was just speaking truth, speaking to the point, but he's been accused of encouraging vigilantism by former Ontario Attorney General Michael Bryant. He's been accused by the Globe and Mail's Lawrence Martin of trying to rip apart the fabric of the nation. And then on this past weekend, Craig Oliver on CTV's Question Period, he went one step further.
We didn't have a Wild West. We don't have a constitutional right to bear arms in Canada. The Americans do. I think the Prime Minister got it kind of confused. And for a Prime Minister of Canada to suggest that we have firearms to protect ourselves from our fellow citizens was unbelievable. We have always, as a culture, accepted the fact that we have an ability to have firearms legally for hunting, for target practice, for collecting, but never so that we can shoot our fellow citizens who may knock on the door or want to come in unwelcome.
Now, we all know that Craig Oliver is a cheerleader for the Liberals, has been for a long time, used to canoe with Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre. They were good buds back in the day, so good that, well, things got uncomfortable in the Parliamentary Bureau for Mr. Oliver. But that was a long time ago. This is now. Do his comments make sense? Do his comments make sense in his interpretation of what the Prime Minister was actually saying? Do much of the commentariat claiming that Stephen Harper is trying to bring American-style gun laws make sense? No. Even the Canadian press, with their Baloney Meter, says that's not the case. Yep. The Canadian press has started this thing called a Baloney Meter, and they say that Stephen Harper's comments, they have just a little baloney in them. I think that's a stretch, but the only reason they're giving him that rating is because the comments could be interpreted different ways. But on the facts of the matter, whether we're talking about what the criminal code says about self-defense, whether we're talking about what the PM actually said, the fact is, Stephen Harper said something that's common sense to millions of Canadians across the country. It's just something that doesn't make sense to the urbanites that populate the media. So while Harper's being accused of trying to campaign on this issue, the reality is this is one of the campaign issues for the Media Party. They want to try and bring back the good old days of the gun registry, and they see this as a way to get the issue going and scare urban voters that Stephen Harper once again has a hidden agenda. Apparently it's an agenda that's been so well hidden that no one's seen it in his almost 10 years in power.